Hello, Premium Gang. Good to see you on this Wednesday afternoon, this beautiful Wednesday afternoon. A little bit cool today, but sunny. So hopefully you're enjoying your afternoon. Make sure I have the microphone up to my face, right? Let me get you guys pulled up so I can see you. Okay, there we go. Says there's one person in here already. So I know I went live just a couple of minutes early, so probably have some more joining us. We're just kind of looking at ES right now. And obviously here's our action today. Opening candle, pushed up, flushed all the way down here to the 200, back up to the 20, back down almost to the 200, and then sort of a little chop. We have this little climb. It went up to the 200 and sort of rejected. So now we're just waiting to see what's going to happen from here. One of the things I'd like to point out was right here, we had a shooting star countered by a hammer. And as normal, what normally happens, not every time, we went higher. So whatever counters typically gives you the strength for that next candle. Again, not every time. But it went right up to the 20 and then rejected and has been slowly fading back. So we'll see with just about 2 hours to go in the market here if we are going to see a sell-off into the close, or are we just going to chop? We'll see, right? We'll be together for the next 30 to 45 minutes, and then we'll kind of go from there. But the price action today, let's go back until yesterday. Right here is where the day started, right here. And you can see we made that initial move up. Then we sold off, and then we had this nice climb all the way up. Hang on one second here. I see a couple more people joining us. My wife was texting me, so I had to make sure I answered her real quick. She didn't know I was on early already. So let's see, there we go. Okay, got everything back up. Okay, so then we made the strong move up. Then we came back up, put in the double top, then we sold off. So that's one of the things I'm going to talk about. I'm just trying to wait to see if we get a couple more people here. Wanted to talk a little bit about that, and then we'll go from there. This says 2 of you so far, but it is just now 2 o'clock. I went live a few minutes early, but I guess they can also watch it on the recording. So I'll just go ahead and talk about it because I think it was Cathal wanted me to kind of talk about the scalping. So I was obviously scalping last night. I've been scalping today. The kind of moves that I'm looking for are things like this right here. Okay, we get this move up. Okay, you saw that move down. We get this move up. We sort of put in this little base action here. And then we get this gravestone doji. Then you look to enter right under. Hey, Cathal, kind of talking about scalping right now. So right here is a perfect entry. So you had to move up. You sort of based. And then right underneath here, okay, then you get this move down. Typically, I'm looking, this is me personally, I'm looking to get out with, $100 or so when I'm scalping. Now, If I get a dramatic move, obviously, like earlier today, I got that one for 212.50. The move happened fast. I was actually starting to get my order ready as it was dropping, and I just saw it 100, 120, 131.25, 150, 170, 5, so on and so forth. It just kept going and going and going. By the time I had my order ready, it was already over $200. And then I put my order in and I got it for 212.50. When you see these big types of moves like this, I'm usually trying to get out once I get into some wicks or something that may make sense for support or a possible bounce. So as we look over here, we are going red. We are going red. You see this? So look what we had. We had a shooter, countered by a hammer, countered by another shooter, and now we're going red. So very, very interesting there. Very, very interesting. We'll see if we can break through this 28.60.50 level. Hey there, Nail. Good to see you. Right now we're just kind of talking, we're looking at ES. Here's the action actually playing out, but we're kind of talking about scalping, the types of things I look for, the kind of trades I look for. So I was just showing the first one over here. Get these kind of moves up, you get a base, and then you get some kind of a trigger candle like that. You're looking to enter right below. Now, right here you have the 200, so you got to be careful. And remember, this trend line here, it really doesn't mean anything. That was for directional purposes, right? This was for directional purposes. Let me just go ahead and remove it, right? So then we came down, then you come down here and you put in a candle something like this, right here. And again, I would be looking to enter once it takes the top of that out. As it moves up, I'm just trying to see what can I make? What do I think I can make? Once I get up into this wick, then I'm looking, okay, where am I at profit-wise? Am I somewhere that makes sense? Am I, at 50 bucks? Am I at 75 bucks? Am I at 100 bucks? If I am, I just exit, right? I'm not looking to be greedy when I'm scalping. Here, this type of move. Okay, so we came up, had a nice little pullback. Now there's two ways of playing this. You can try to enter it right here, okay, above this Dragonfly Doji, or you can wait one more. You can wait till you take that out and then enter, and again, you see the strong move. Okay, then you base. Now on something like this, okay, I'm probably looking at exiting right up in here. Okay, even though this candle kept on going, I am conservative. Excuse me, I'm conservative. So I'm probably looking out at getting out about the top of this candle, or definitely in this wick, depending on where I'm at. Okay, but then you see this. Okay, then what do we know is probably coming next? What do we know? Possible 3-candle play. It goes against you at first. Then it comes back through, takes the top out. You can enter there. Could have rode this up into here. Let's look. I probably, let's see, that's 1:30 in the morning, so I wouldn't have been in this play. But let's just say I probably could have rode that up, quite a bit, because I would have looked at this and said, hey, there's not really any resistance over here. Probably at least to the bottom of this, right across in there. Okay. Again, then you get this strong move up away from the 20. Away from the 20. See how far away it is? Then you put in a shooting star. Okay. Perfect entry right here. Again, this was at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I'm just showing you the kind of things that I'm looking for. All right, so then you enter here, and I'm looking to probably make it down into this wick somewhere if I can. But see, this candle came down, kind of pulled back, but never got, my stop would be tight. It would be right in there. Okay, then came down, and as soon as this gets into this area, again, I'd be looking to see, okay, how much profit do I have, if any? Okay, how much profit do I have? All right. This candle here would have been a little bit tricky, right? We popped up, so this would have been green at one time. And we came back down and formed a shooting star, and we took it out. Okay, so this one, again, not one I would have been playing. I would have been asleep. This is one I would have got stopped out on, right? Right here, I would have got stopped out. Okay, move back up here. Nice move. Then you have a hammer, excuse me, a shooting star. Okay, so now there's nothing to do until you get right here. And then you're looking to get down into these wicks. Okay, I'm not looking to try to catch this whole move right here. Once I get, now this wick is probably not going to be quick enough to give me the profit I need, but this wick probably is. In here, I could probably be in that $50 to $62.50 to $75 range. Okay, so on a move like that, I'm probably not catching that whole thing. I'm just taking what I can get, locking it in. Locking it in. Okay, then you get your reversal. You see how many potential plays there are? You get your reversal right here. Okay, there's your hammer. You can enter right above here. It went as high as this. I can guarantee you this is probably one of the plays I took. Guarantee you this got you enough. All right, and then on this move, I played it twice. So I caught some of the initial move. This is the one where I think I had the two trades in a row. I think one was $75 and the other was $212.50. That was on this candle. Right? So I caught some of it and then I re-entered because I was watching the action. And the action said, okay, we're going to continue down. So even though I got out the first time with 75, now somebody could say, well, why don't you just ride it all the way down? Well, because of this. Because of this wick right here. That's why I wouldn't be riding it all the way down. Just wouldn't work. I'm just telling you, it just wouldn't work. All right, so then we came all the way down here. Then we came back up. I know I had one right here. Okay, there's a hammer, right? A hammer of all hammers. Okay, so I would have been getting in right there, and if I remember right, I think I exited somewhere right in here. Somewhere right in here. Again, I didn't want to get all the way up there because look what happens. Look what happens both times that it's touched the 20. Big bounces back against you. Right, so I get out early, lock in the profit, and then look, it turned around, came back down. So it just happens over and over and over again. Over and over again. All right. Now, I did take a trade when we were up here short, and it was a little bit of a gamble. I don't even know. Let me see if I have any profit at all. No, I'm way down because I bought way out of the money. So I'm still down, but we're going to keep an eye on it. We are going to keep an eye on it. If this thing starts to really tank, and I can get back in the green. See, this is one of the reasons I don't like to trade distracted, right? I take a trade right before I know that I'm going on with you guys, and it's hard to manage. I bought way out of the money, but the one mistake that I made was that I forgot what time of day it is. Okay, because today's an expiry day, so that premium in the afternoon, this time of day, it's just fading. It's fading fast. So I would need a pretty quick move to the downside to get back green. So we'll see, right? If this thing goes red and gets down in here, then I can probably make some green. Well, let's watch it. Maybe it will. Okay. So I was taking a gamble up here, bouncing off of this, but I bought way down here. I bought way out of the money. Okay. So we'll watch it. We'll see. Maybe I'll get lucky. You know, like Sonny was talking about earlier. You know, he took a speculation play overnight and it paid off for him. I kind of knew, you know, we were getting on, but then I start thinking after I took it, I'm like, man, you know, you're going to be trading distracted. Okay, so let's see if we can get a rundown here. I'll keep watching. See, the premiums already went up over $1 just since I checked it the last time. Okay, we need that thing to keep going red. Keep going red. Let's go now. I really need it down around here. I don't know if we'll get down there. We got to get through this wick. Let me see where we're at. Okay. It's got to keep going. Starting to ease up a little bit. Let me see here. Huh, I'm just barely green right now. See that? I'm just barely green. So I need this thing to keep going, to keep fading. So we're watching it. We'll see what happens here. I'd like to see it just flush. It's got to get below here. If it gets below here, it's got a chance, right? But it's got to get below here first. Been a lot of overall weakness today. I'm going to keep watching this. There's been a lot of overall weakness in the market today. So, okay, it's trying. Right here, what's the low? 28.56. It's got to get below here. It's got to get below here to keep going. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's see where we're at. Come on, keep pushing. You guys are watching this live. It's got to get below here. If it can't get below here, I'm just going to have to bail. Come on, keep pushing. Keep pushing. 28.56 is the magic number. It's got to get, like 28.55 to possibly get a little pop and get down here. Here's where I really need it to get. Come on now. Let me see where we're at. 6, which puts us I don't know. I think I'm just going to go ahead and exit, guys, if it'll let me out. I'm out. Whew. I'm out. All right. I think, let's look here. What did it say? I'll figure it up here in a little bit. Okay, I think I made the right decision. See how it's stalling out there? It may still go through there, but my last glance, it looked like it was about 130 in profit. I'm good. I'm out, right? Now, would I have liked to seen it pop through here and get down here? Absolutely. Okay, probably if it got down there, maybe I get, maybe 180, close to 200, maybe. Right down around here. Okay. In fact, let me see. Let me look at something here, guys. So you guys just saw one play out. And we're still watching, right? I'm out, though. I'm out. All right. Where was that one? Okay. $105. $105 is what I made. So the last number I saw was 130. And that's when, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I got to exit. So when I exited, I didn't go, I went with the mid. I've been trying to enter on the mid and I've been trying to exit on the mid. That doesn't always work. Sometimes you get filled, sometimes you didn't. So right there, when you see 130, okay, that is the ask, right? It's not the bid, right? So the bid and the ask are going to be apart. I put in the mid and I got filled, and I got filled at 105. All right, so if it would have been on the bid, it probably would have been, 90 something approximately, maybe even slightly less. Oh man, look, I made the right decision. Look at that, right? And it doesn't matter, right? Once you're out, you're out. You're out. Okay, so you guys just seen me. I caught $105 right there. Okay, I took a flyer, and what I mean by a flyer, again, I was banking that it was going to reject the 20 because it did earlier, and we had overall weakness. And I played way out of the money. Now, the only problem with that, like let's just say this wasn't an expiry day, okay? From here to here, I probably would have made a mint. Okay, I probably would have made, 250, 300 bucks. I'm just guessing. But because this is an expiry day, and because we're after 2 o'clock in the afternoon, that premium, even, it's hard to explain, especially for you guys that don't play a lot of options. The people who play options, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Hang on one second here. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But as the price was dropping, right, and my profit was trying to go up, at the same time, premiums are trying to burn off fast because we're getting near the end of the day on a premium day. I hope you're following me there. They're fighting each other. So like I'm saying, if this was not an expiry day and I bought way out of the money like I did there, and I got that type of move, man, the profit would just pile up. But because this is an expiry day and we're so late in the afternoon, that's why I only made 105 bucks on that. Okay, I probably wasn't making hardly anything as it was crawling back through here. Okay, you see this? As this was just crawling back through here, and then when we first came on, there was only a couple of you in here. Right here, it was just sort of vacillating back and forth. At that time, I wasn't making anything. In fact, you guys saw me. I went over at one time and opened it up, and I was down over 100 bucks, right up in here. And so it went my direction. And I was still down 100 bucks because the premium was burning so fast, right? Think about it. Back at the beginning of the day, let me bring this up, okay? If it'll let me. Of course, my Thinkorswim right now has locked up on me. That is crazy. There we go. Now it's starting to move. Let me just do this. I'll bring up Tastyworks. All right. So where you see this little red dot, that's where price is right now. Okay, earlier in the day, here's your puts at the money. Here's your calls at the money. Okay, notice. They're almost a couple dollars higher. They're more than $2 higher. Remember what I've told you before. What does that mean? That means the market makers think the money is, now it's flipping, okay, because price is adjusting. Okay, but when you see that one side is more than the other, they think price is going to go that way. But here's what I really wanted to show you. Early in the day, these things were about $12 to $14 each, buying a call or a put at the money. Okay, $12 to $14 each. Now they're around $4 to $6. So throughout the day, and most of that has come the second half of the day. Throughout the day, that premium is burning down. That's what this is. This is the premium. It's what you're paying on them strike prices. So it's burning down. So I know Kelsey will watch this. She might not be on here right now. She was asking me, do you ever buy something and then it's not going your way, and after a while you just sell it because it's not going your way and you don't want to hold it for a length of time? Absolutely. This is why. Okay, you never want to hold something on an expiry day. Ever. Okay, so think about that. I'm just going to make something up. So think about buying a 2865 call, way back in the early part of the day when they were like $14 each, and you just hold it. Well, now price is at 28.60, which is $5 in your favor, and you'd be down $1,000. How crazy is that, right? So you don't want to hold, especially a future contract, on expiry day. So I just want to make sure everybody understands that. That's why up here, and we talk about this all the time, and you guys that play options, you know exactly what I mean. Price going my direction, okay, from here to here, and even a little bit of here, and I was still down. I was down $100. Then finally, when it spiked down around here, I went from down 100 to up 100, but it was still fighting that burn. Because that kind of move right there normally would pay you a lot better. Okay, it'd pay you a lot better. All right. Now, Cathal, I know you wanted me to talk, about scalping today, so I definitely wanted to cover that first. Now, here's another thing I wanted to show everybody. All right. How did I feel very comfortable with my short plays this morning? Well, I'm going to show you. Okay, I drew it in. I gave you guys the chart earlier today. Okay, Thinkorswim, a little bit slow right now. Just bear with me. Okay, I'm going to draw it in. And from here, back up. All right. So what does that look like? Looks like an M, right? Okay, from a technical perspective, and again, all those guys that are technical traders or fancy yourself as a TA trader, this is nothing more. When somebody says an M, they're talking about a double top. Okay, they're talking about a double top. Let me see if I can get there we go, my thing to work. All right, there's your classic double top right there. So, from a technical analysis perspective, let me draw it across. This is ridiculous. I do apologize, guys. My Thinkorswim is just absolutely garbage today. All right, so here's your double top. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, we couldn't break through this level. Now, sometimes this will be a little bit higher. Sometimes it'll be just a little bit shorter. Sometimes it'll be almost exact. It was almost exact today. It doesn't have to be exact. And it also does not have to be at a resistance level. Okay, this will become a resistance level, right? When I update my support and resistance, I can almost guarantee you there will be a new level right there. However, back to the analysis. So from a technical standpoint, when you see a double top, if you break this part right here, the V in the M, okay, if you break this, which we did, now look, price went up first, all right, but when you break this, the probabilities are extremely high that you're going to go back to the origin of the move. Now, that chart I gave you, guys, I circled this, I drew a little arrow, I said strong probability it was coming back to here, and a decent probability it was coming back to here. Okay, I kind of was taking this as the origin of the move. It's really probably this. This is a little structure in here. Okay, but I felt super confident that we were getting back to here. But we got almost, right? Almost down to here. And what is this right down here? It's sort of some demand, right? From the top of this, if you look straight across, where did the wick bounce? Let me draw in a rectangle if my Thinkorswim will let me. There we go. Okay, so from the top of the body to the bottom of the candle, and look where we bounced. Okay, not the absolute best, right? It's only one candle, but we did have a strong drop. We left in a pretty good way. We came back, we kind of touched it, and then we really went strong away. Okay, I'm not saying this is the best demand zone, but what I'm saying is it made absolute sense where price bounced. And from a technical perspective, as I was taking those scalps this morning, I felt very, very good that we were coming back at a bare minimum to here and maybe even down here. And we did. We made it all the way, right? Okay, because the probabilities, that's all we're worried about. Okay, sometimes it won't, but the probabilities is when you break this level across here, where the V is, the bottom point of the V, and it doesn't have to happen right then. As you can see, we broke it. We actually got over to here. Then we just had a little structure. Then we dropped all the way down. Okay, so what did we have? We had a lower low, lower high, lower low. Then from here, we bounced up. This is technically still a lower high. Because here was your high. That's a lower high. Then we went higher low. Still a lower high. Okay, remember I drew in the wedge. I said we are tightening. Okay, that's another way to know if you're tightening. If you have lower lows but higher lower highs but higher lows. That's what we had here, right? We went from this being a lower low to a lower high, then to a higher low, meaning it's higher than this. Okay? Then we went back up here. We again had a lower high, and then we came back down and we put this in, which is still, it's still a a higher low. So we are still, from a technical standpoint, we're still tightening. There still could be another pop out of this. You could see another pop out of this. And I don't know exactly which way it'll go. And it doesn't really matter. Now, from a purely technical textbook standpoint, they're going to say, well, this move was a move down, and this is where your wedge is. So they would say that the move should continue lower, right? So it should go like this. It should go down, up, down, up. Okay, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then lower. That's what they would say, the textbooks. Okay, I know from experience, and so do most price action traders, it can really go either direction. Does it go this way more often? Probably. Okay, maybe slightly, but not as much as what you would think. Plus, this really, okay, again, a double top, okay, that's not really doing anything, right? Because we had a strong move here, up, we had a strong move down there, and we really didn't go anywhere. We're still, if you think about it, from here to here, we're still in that range. Now, it's a pretty big range, but we're still in it. Okay, we didn't break lower and we didn't break higher. But there's plenty of money to be made if you're a scalper or a short-term day trader. Now, a bit of advice. I would not try to short-term day trade futures, any futures, could be oil, could be this, could be gold, whatever, on an expiry day. I would only look to scalp it because I wouldn't want you running into what I ran into earlier. Okay, now it's trying to go lower. And let's talk about this for a second. Okay, right here's where I needed it to break to come down here to probably double my profit at least. Even if it goes down there now, doesn't matter. Okay, because I'm sure, let me go look at the premiums. Yeah, the premiums they just continue to fall. So, coming back over here, okay, now that this had that bounce up, now it's come down, now it bounced a little bit lower, now you can see it's bouncing up again. It wouldn't matter. I'd actually go back to losing money. Right? If I just would have held right here, okay, and waited, oh, now it broke and it got almost down to where your target was, I'd be losing money again. because the premiums are just continuing to burn. Obviously, by the end of the day, you guys that play options know what I'm about to say. By the end of the day, those options are going to be worthless. Okay, so they're always going against you. Kelsey, if you're watching this later, I don't think you're on right now, but if you're watching this later, I know you're starting to play a lot of options. Just remember that. Okay, options are always decaying. Now, when you buy a weekly or a monthly option, they decay at a slower rate earlier in the life of the contract, and then it accelerates the closer you get to expiration. When you're playing futures, which have an expiry every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, if you're on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday, them suckers are burning off fast. Like I said, I'm just telling you, at the beginning of the day, now I'm talking about regular trading hours, they were about $14 a contract. Now the at the money is what is it now? Let's go back and look. Okay, $4, $4.45. Okay, so it's already decayed $10 just throughout the trading day with an hour and a half left to go. $10 is $1,000. $1,000. All right. Okay, so even though it broke right here, look at this. It broke, got into this wick, and popped. That's why this was my ultimate target. I had it set just above the bottom of this wick. If we would have got some really nice drop, once we got right down here, I would have sold because this is exactly what I thought was going to happen, that we would see a bounce, but it's actually bouncing right in this wick. Okay, we talk about that a lot, right? It doesn't have to happen at the bottom of the wick. It can happen anywhere in here because this whole thing is showing buyers pushing the market back up. Okay. Cathal, does that help you a little bit with scalping? Okay, now I scalped last night and today off of nothing but the 30-minute. When I did all that scalping on Monday, I did that all off of the 2-minute. I think, again, my own opinion is it's probably easier to do it off of the 30-minute. Okay, it probably is. Now, I'm not saying don't use the 2-minute. If you can use it and you can make quick decisions, and remember, what was that? Monday. Remember Monday, I was thinking about taking a trade live and I had to do all that analysis. Okay, so look at this screen and then I'm going to switch to the 2-minute and you're going to see how different it is. Okay, look at this screen right now. Now I'm going to switch to the 2-minute and I'm going to put the same data if I can. It might not even let me, because there's so much of it. Give me a second here, guys. All right. Oh, see, it just moved on me. Oh, thinkorswim. This is so frustrating. I wish they could get their act together. Let me get this alert off of there. I'm not in any trade now. Okay, now let me see if it'll let me. All right. Look at all that data. This is the 2-minute. Okay. There is our double top, our M. Look at all this. Look at all these candles and all the little moves up and down that don't show up on the 30-minute. Okay? All these little moves like this, they don't show up. Now, a move like this does, right? But these little ones, these little moves, they don't even show up on the 30-minute. So when I talk about like how much mental capacity it takes to scalp continuously hour after hour, I find it easier to do it on the 30-minute. Okay, it's still mentally draining, but again, just imagine doing this on a 2-minute. Let me get a little bit closer here, and then I'm just going to start scrolling through. Okay, imagine doing this on a 2-minute. Look at all these candles. Okay, and watch how it plays out. Okay, look at this. I'm just letting it go kind of slow so you can see. All the little tiny moves. And I'm telling you, those little moves, you don't make anything, right? So you're burning mental energy and you're not really making anything. Now, these types of moves you make money on, okay? But these little tiny moves like this, okay? You see this pull back and then a pop, pull back and then a pop. You're not really making anything on those. But you have to do the analysis on it because it could end up as one of those ones that pops. Okay, still going through. Okay, that's just the first peak, the very first peak. Let me speed it up a little bit. Okay, there is your V. Look at all this chop through here on the 2-minute. Okay, there's your V. There's the other peak. Okay, now there's our drop. And when I switch back over, right, these are big red candles, but look on the 2-minute. See all the little green mixed in? Man, that wears you out mentally. It wears you out. Okay, and then here we are. Okay, now we're up to date. Now watch, I'll go back to the 30-minute, and you'll be like, wow. Okay, let me go back to the 30-minute. Look at that. Which is easier to trade, this or what we were just on? Right? Okay. You see on the 30-minute, like here we have this little pullback. On the 2-minute, this was like 3 or 4. Remember? It was like 3 or 4 pullbacks. Okay, but on the 30-minute, that's one. That's one pullback. See how easy it is and from a structure standpoint? Okay, then we had this big move to the upside. On the 2-minute, what was it? It was all kinds of little things, up and down, up and down. All right, so when you see this candle forming, we see it ends up as a big green, wide-ranging candle. But on the 2-minute, it shows how many times price was up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, within this candle. I'd much rather look at this. Right? I can just tell you, I've had a better day today, right, from just strictly from profitability standpoint than I did Monday. And today and last night, the ones I took last night were all off of the 30-minute. Monday was all off of the 2-minute. Okay. Yeah, Cathal, definitely. Small risk, right? Small risk. And definitely don't do like that. Be totally focused, especially on an expiry day. Be totally focused on what's going on. Let me just bring this in a little bit closer. Okay, so we came down here. We broke below right there. We got the little pop. Got into this wick. We've popped back up. And as you can see, where did it pop back up to? Support becomes resistance. So we break through. We pop down. We come right back up. We retest what was support is now resistance. Now, will we go lower? Possibly, right? Possibly. Obviously, we've already been going for 40 some minutes. I'm not gonna go through all the names on our watch list, but I did want to just look at a couple. Let's see here. I got to get back to them. There it is. Okay. Let's first look and see XRF and MDGS. Those were our small account names. Let's look at MDGS first. Let's see, did it give anything today? No, did not give anything. Trigger would have been up here. Okay, so it had this really nice move in the pre-market, then Opened up, tried to start going higher, but again, nothing to do, right? Because we didn't get any other interest. And then what's the other one? XRF. And I think it was you, Cathal, said you played this and caught a little bit of the pop. Okay, so right here would have been the entry above there, and it popped up to 306. So 240, so 66 cents on the pop. Cathal, if I remember right, I think you said you caught like 30 or 35 cents of that. Is that correct? And then, as normal, look what these names do. They sell off, right? Sometimes you get a second pop, but mostly they sell off. All right, so those were our two small account growth names today. We'll just look at a couple, and then I'll let everybody go. I really wanted to focus on scalping today, especially because Cathal had asked about it. Let me get over to our daily chart. Okay, so this was apron, nothing. Blue apron, actually. CGC. Now, CGC, I think somebody in the room was trading CGC today. And we did get a move to the downside. And it got as low as 1528. And if you recall, I think I had said, I was asked for my opinion, and I think I said 1530 would be my T1 and 1480 would be my T2. So it got to my T1. For me, that'd be enough. I'd be out. Okay. So 1528. I called 1530. So it got there, right? Let's look. Lake. Did Lake do anything? Again, I'm not going to go through all of these guys. I'm just going through a few of them. Let's look at Lake, which is Lakeland Industries. Not much. Okay. Actually would have triggered. Then if you would have took it, would have stopped you out. And then you could re-enter right there. Let's see, 1342. High, not only 40 cents move. So this really didn't do anything today. Let's look at some of these shooting stars, because obviously we had a lot of them and the market was weak early. So let's just look at a few of them. I haven't looked at any of them. Let's look at NetEase, because it gave us a nice move yesterday. Okay, NetEase, no, it actually went against it. Look at that. Went against the shooting star. Okay, for me, there would have been no trigger there. I only looked at trigger. That's me personally. I'm not saying that you can't if it takes the other side out, but I'm only looking for a downside play on a shooting star. Okay, so nothing there. What about, let's look at the Qs. Let's see here. Okay, the Qs went against it, went the other direction. Okay, it did come in and then went the other direction. So again, for me, that's a no play. No play on that. PayPal. Now, this definitely doesn't look like it. Nope. Look at this. Look how many of these names actually went against their shooting star and against the weakness this morning in the market. That's crazy. Microsoft. I haven't looked at any of these today because I've just been busy, obviously, as you know. Same thing. Opened up, went up, just barely clearing it. But for me, that's a no play. Well, then let's do this. Let's look. Okay, we only had one hammer beyond. Let's see what we got here. Booyah! Look at that. Holy cow. There's your play. Good night. Opened at 110.26. That would have been your trigger. Why? Because it gapped above our Dragonfly Doji, okay, which is like a hammer. Opened at 110.26, went as high as 125. So that's almost a $15 move. Okay, then it eased back. But it looks like you could have caught probably $12 or $13 of that pretty easily. Wow. Nice move by Beyond. Let's look at the 30-minute on that. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that. Boom, right out of the gate. Right out of the gate. I don't know that that would stop me out, this little bit here. Now up here when it starts to base, afternoon, let's see, what was that? That's 12:30. I'd probably be getting out up there for sure, but that's the majority of the move. I mean, even if you let it come back against you down to here, you're still making 12 bucks. Man, that's a nice move on Beyond. I hope somebody played it. I hope somebody played it today. All right, let's go back and take one last look at the market and we'll wrap it up for today. We're a little bit over our 45 minutes, which isn't a big deal. Okay, still moving up. Still moving up. So we are still tightening. We've been talking about it this whole time. We are still tightening. Okay, you can be, whoops, sorry about that. You can be kind of liberal with how you want to draw it. Okay, I was drawing it off of this one earlier, but you could go like this, and then like this. And they're going to intersect somewhere right in here. All right, so yeah, it's still tightening. Look at that, just back and forth, back and forth. And at some point, this thing's going to go one direction or the other. If it comes to the downside, so far, look at that. Just barely touched it and sent us flying back up. So if it would break to the downside, I would definitely be cautious of this. If it breaks to the upside, you have this wick. These two, because this one and this one are a little bit like in formation, I'd be a little bit more concerned with this one than I would this one. Because this, if you got over that, it's probably going to pop you over this one. Okay, this one could be an obstacle, right? You also have the 20 up here. But if you're popping out of here, you're going to be above the 20. And if you cleared this, then you could get up into this wick up in here. All right, so just something to watch for a little bit later tonight. I'm going to take these off of my screen. I don't usually leave them on, and I'll get rid of the other ones once we get off of here. Anybody have any questions about anything today? Anything I covered? You know, because Cathal asked for me to specifically kind of talk about scalping today, I kind of made the focus today about that. But then I also wanted to show you, how you can draw this in on your chart. And remember, a W is exactly the opposite. A W is just a double bottom. So if you flip this around and you see a W forming and start going up and takes out the V part, right? Then you have a high chance that you're going to get back up to where the origin of the move started. Right? Again, that's how I felt confident that this was going to be moving down today. Okay, because once we double topped and broke this, then I felt pretty confident at least here and in a strong possibility down to here. Okay, I don't see any questions from anybody, so you guys have an awesome day. I'll see you back in the room. If you're trading anything, be safe. We're going to be moving into power hour here pretty quick, and try to make some profits. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.